So welcome to the Wellness Health Services Health Talks. My name is Dr. Derito, family physician working in Machakos. So our talk this morning will be on flooding. As we are all aware, there is an excess of rainfall in our country, and now we are finding that most of the areas have been affected by the rains. So flooding is a situation whereby we have dry places occupied with water. It's one of the commonest natural calamities that affect humankind. So faced with these situations, there are things that we can be able to do to try to mitigate the effect of this flooding. One of them is listening to the weather department and getting the accurate and precise weather reports so that we know what is happening, what we expect of the rain situation. And after we get this news, it's always good to share them with our families, our loved ones, so that we are prepared, knowing where we are and what is likely to happen to the region that we are occupying. So there are situations which we can be able to mitigate before the flooding or before we are affected by the floods. One of them is at this time we should have all our important documents well stored in good sealed documents so that in case we are caught up with the floods in our houses, then we can be able to be sure that our important documents are safe. Then the other thing is we need to have foodstuffs that we may need so that we are well stocked with perishable foods there in the house, and so that we do not have to travel so much during this flooding season. So if there are travel plans that you can avoid, it would be good to avoid them. And then it is always good to find out the weather conditions if you are to travel of the place that you are going to travel to. Try to travel as much as possible during the daytime so that we avoid night travels where we cannot be able to see. Traveling when there is good light, it's advisable during this condition. Then we should know that flooding is happening. We may be conversant with the roads, but the moment that water occupies the roads, then we should not at any time try to avoid as much as possible trying to cross over flooded areas, because you do not know the extent of the flooding and what is below the water. Then we should also make sure that our houses are secure. There are things that we can be able to do to be able to secure our houses. One of them is making sure that our houses are well sealed, making sure that the doors, the windows are functioning appropriately. And then if for any situation the house gets to flood, then we should move. If we have the capacity to move to an upper floor, we should do that. And we should also try as much as possible to keep our important documents in higher grounds. Then families should stay together. Try to get information as much as you can. If the water gets flooded, at no time should you try to use the rainwater, because already the water could be contaminated with toxic substances. It is also could be have passed through toxic places like sewage systems, and so we should avoid that. We should also try as much as possible, if you can, have an emergency kit where you can try to pack. I've talked about important documents, having good drinking water, bottled water, which you can put in a bag that you can be able to move around easily. Trying to have warm emergency blankets which you can move with as fast as possible. Having good lighting and having portable lights. Having a source of information. At least these days we have a good phone system which have radios where we can get information on what is happening. And having your phone well charged, also having a spare charger would be also a good thing. And So try to stock your house with an emergency kit which you can take as soon as possible. If you get submerged or you get into the water, try as much as possible to try to hold on anything that you can hold on. If you can hold on something, then shout for help, and never try to close over flooded area. Remember also, vehicles are not safe. They can be overrun by the water, and so by the fact that you have a car, that should not give you the courage that you should close over water bodies or flooded areas. So the major thing is, first of all, getting adequate information from the weather department, listening to the government authorities, especially where the government is telling people to evacuate, so that you evacuate beforehand, before you get into difficult situations. Making sure that your house is protected by making sure that if you can create barriers against the water, make sure that the doors, the windows are functioning appropriately and they can be closed watertight, and having your important document in well-sealed document, having a mobile light and a mobile source of information, and also having an emergency kit which you can easily move around with, and avoiding unnecessary travel, especially in this weather condition. So thank you very much. I hope these tips would be of benefit to us as we face the flooding situation.